Okay.
It's an issue.
Kom in, Tapas, prabhu. Krishna.
Jag ska bara... Det var bara någon som ringt mig. Jag ska bara svara kort. Ja.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to ISKCON Malmö Sunday Feast. We have a special guest today. His name is Tapas Prabhu, and he has been temple president in ISKCON Stockholm for many, many years. I don't know how many years. And they used to have a very nice preaching place with they had boutique, they had Govinda's restaurant, and they had a big, big temple room. So he has been around for many years now. He's regional secretary for Malmö. So he's coming and, you know, seeing how things are going here for ISKCON Malmö. And he will give a lecture on Lord Nrsingadev. And yeah, personally, I'm always very much inspired by his kirtans and his lectures. He's a really nice devotee. So I think we should say 3 times Haribol for Tapas Prabhu. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Sorry, we don't have flowers petals and garland. Yeah. So here you are for leading the kirtan. This and when you are talking in the, then this is the mic because we are streaming here on YouTube.
Okay, just for talking. Not for kirtan.
Yeah, maybe not for kirtan.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Welcome. And we have Lagudi Prabhu. Sometimes maybe you can explain certain things in Swedish because yeah, sometimes it's just summarized.
Okej.
Att han ska prata lite på svenska också.
Det behövs. Det behövs inte? Okej.
Okej.
Den ska ligga här.
Yeah, this is for harmonium, for voice. Do you need the
For
microphone?
recording or
It's just for amplification. Someone is outside there, so they can.
if someone's outside? Yeah, okay. Because here it's loud enough.
We can remove it if you want.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, let's say,
You can do it for lecture.
We would have needed it in Lund yesterday.
yeah, that's clear. That
Yeah,
was really,
But here, you know.
yeah, especially with kirtan.
Yeah.
How long you do this? For how long you do the kirtan?
For 15 minutes, maybe. To start the lecture at 3:30.
Okay. Somebody playing?
Yeah.
Mridanga?
I will play. I'm not a good player.
Just keep the rhythm. You don't have to be technical. Just. So it's a lecture now. Huh?
Yes.
But maybe we can sing Rahamara also. What?
Yes, of course.
Here. Okay. Just prepare.
Jaya Kunya Bihari
Jaya
No, I can have read the text from here. Okay, my hand is not working. Yeah, let's go. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome. Anybody here for first time? You. You also. But do you know about Hare Krishna? A little bit? Yeah? From before? And you?
Yeah.
You know?
A little
bit. Okay, so I'm visiting here from Stockholm. I'm not from Stockholm, but I have a service there. But I also have a service here, like sometimes here in Göteborg. But main service at Hare Krishna, I was. And I'm born in Norway. I'm Norwegian, actually, originally from west coast of Norway. I was starting there until 1995. I moved to Sweden. So we are International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So there are always, like here also, many nationalities. Where are you from?
I'm born here. My parents are from Iran.
Iran, yeah.
Norway.
Iran and
I lived in Norway.
also?
Yeah.
Where?
Oslo and Kragerø.
Okay. I'm from Bergen area, not the city, but yeah.
From Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you?
I'm here from Malmö.
You are Malmö, local. You're from Hungary and local. Huh?
I'm born in
Born in Hungary. Huh? Yeah. And you?
Ukraine.
What? Where you are from?
Ukraine.
Oh, Ukraine. Yeah. Okay. Came recently or?
Недавно приехали.
January.
In January.
Oh yeah. We also have few in Stockholm from Ukraine. Daughters. So.
В Стокгольме есть несколько преданных с Украины. В Стокгольме есть несколько преданных с Украины.
You know, she knows ISKCON from Ukraine?
Вы знаете ISKCON в Украине?
Okay. You're going to translate for her? Or?
No.
She doesn't understand English. Huh?
No, she doesn't.
But maybe you should translate. You can do that parallel.
Never tried before.
But even if you don't get everything, then still, it's because it's good. And you are from?
Russia, St. Petersburg.
Russia. Okay. Okay, then we have international society here. So I usually say, okay, this globalism, they started in the 90s maybe, or 2000. But ISKCON was global 60s, 70s already. It was, at the time there wasn't much traveling, but still. Global because it is actually a spiritual movement, so therefore it's not dependent on your race or age or sex or nationality, or we are dealing with the soul. So the soul may be born here or there, but next life you're born in another place. So the soul, the person is not the body, it's not the nationality, it's not the race, that's just a dress. In Bhagavad Gita it's described, it's like a dress, you change dress. So one should not be too much hung up in the material identity, because next life will be something else. So we are trying to, there's example of a bird in a cage. If you have a pet bird, a parrot or something. So materialistic civilization is that you make the cage very nice. You paint it, you polish it, you decorate it, but you're not feeding the bird. It's a very nice cage, but the bird starves. So that's a missing link, or missing thing in the modern civilization. Is very impressive when it comes to material development. Also, not just impressive in the good sense, it's also other things. But Jesus Christ, he said, what's the use of winning the whole world and you lose your soul? Because the soul is actually what we are. We are eternal, and that is why we don't want to die. We try to survive. It's not possible to survive forever materially, but we will, but the sense of I have to survive is because we are eternal. Otherwise, this is not a person, it's just a dead matter. It has no sense of surviving. If I threaten it, if I take an axe, and it will not protest because there are no person there. So there is that fact that all living beings, even small worm, will protect itself when it's attacked. That's the proof the being is eternal. Otherwise, why you protect? Yeah. So a machine will not protect. So today we are celebrating this appearance of Narasimhadev. Is there any? This one, painting. Altar there, yeah, exactly. There's the deity, photo of the deity. It's a special avatar of the Lord, so, but it is very famous among so many avatars. Singadev is famous. So we discuss a little bit about the significance and why this form of Nrsimhadev or appearance is given much attention. So we read one verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a prayer to Lord Nrsimhadev. There are some. This prayer is offered by. It's another area of, what do you say? According to the Vedic cosmology, there's 3 main departments in the universe. The middle section, then the heavenly section, and the subterranean section. And we are in the middle section, we are in the earth. But in the earth, there is not just the earth globe, there is a whole plane. Because the universe is like a big globe. There's a whole plane, and there are other places in that plane. It's called the Bila Svarga. That's where living, we don't have access it with our, but this is described. That's why this is why you can say that not the earth, but the earthly level is flat. Not the globe is flat, but that is flat. It's a plane in the universe. And this prayer is offered by some personalities who live on another than the earth in this plane. This is, so that's, so there are people all over the universe, of very different species of life all over the universe. Everywhere is populated. So I'm reading. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 This is the Sanskrit verse, and I will read the translation also. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste Jasteya Avir Vir Bhava. Vajranaka Vajradamsta Karmasayam Randan Tamograsa Grasa Om Swaha. Abhayam Abhayam Atmani Bhuishtam Ksham. Translation: I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires of fruitive activities in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. But in the Srimad Bhagavatam 4:22-39, Sarat Kumara speaks the following words to Maharaj Prithu. Devotees always engaged in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet can very easily become free from the hard-knotted desires of fruitive activities, because this is very difficult. Non-devotees, jnanis, and yogis cannot stop the waves of sense gratification, although they try to do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Every living being within this material world has a strong desire to enjoy matter to his fullest satisfaction. For this purpose, the conditioned soul must accept one body after another, and thus his strongly fixed fruitive desires continue. One cannot stop the repetition of birth and death without being completely desireless. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure bhakti as follows. Once you render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably, without desires for material profit or gain, through furtive activities of philosophical speculation, that is called pure devotional service. Unless one is completely freed from all material desires, which are caused by the dense darkness of ignorance, one cannot fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Therefore, we should always offer prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, who killed Hiranyakashipu, the personification of material desires. Hiranya means gold, and Kashipu means soft cushion or bed. Materialistic persons always desire to have the body comfortable, and for this they require huge amount of gold. Thus, Hiranyakashipu was the perfect representative of materialistic life. He was therefore the cause of great disturbance to the topmost devotee Prahlad Maharaj, until Lord Nrsimhadev killed him. Any devotee aspiring to be free from material desires should offer his respectful prayers to Nrsimhadev, as Prahlad Maharaj did in this verse. To the verse, I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possess nails and teeth, just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Om Yanak Dirmandasya Gananyala Salakya Chakshurun Minitan Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhista Stapitam Yena Bhutava Swayam Rupa Giramayam Dadati Swaparantikam.
Could you repeat the number of verse?
What?
Could you please repeat the number of the verse?
Repeat the
verse number.
Oh, yeah. It's 5:18:8.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are many types of living entities. They said that there's 8,400,000 species of life. And these different species of life are designed because we have different karma or different desires. So if you like to fly, you can become a bird. If you like to be lazy, you can become a cat, for example. Cats sleep 75% of their lives. So all this species is not an accident that there are so many species. And but when you become a human being, and you see, the animals also struggle. They have to defend themselves. Have you seen birds eat? They cannot have a peaceful meal. Always look, take a bit and look, Can you imagine to eat in such a way? You'll just go and take a meal and you're just looking for some mafia coming to shoot you. That's bird life. But they don't bother. The thing is that people like animals in one sense because they are so, one sense, simple. Their life is so simple because they're not mental. They don't have depression and mental problems because they just live their life. And if they struggle, they don't think about it. They struggle. There's no second thought for the animals to struggle. It's not that, the lions, Prabhu said the tiger sometimes must go 1 week to get a meal. But it's not that the tiger get together with some other tigers and I'm tired of this tiger life. I don't want to go. I am tired of going 1 week for every meal. And then they make a discussion how to improve. No, the animals don't do that. But the human being will. And he should. Thing is, when you're born as a human being, the higher intelligence is not this smartphone, mystical magic. The high intelligence is that you can start to wonder about what is this life, what is this material existence, why we have to struggle, why is there suffering. I want to be happy, but suffering and struggle is forced upon me. Whatever I do, there is troubles, this way, that way. If I don't have troubles with other people, or if I don't have trouble from the climate or the weather, I have trouble from my own mind and body. So the human life is said to be the beginning of spiritual life. Even if you haven't had any spiritual knowledge given to you, just by being a human being, you can start to wonder about these things. This is natural. And that is the beginning of spiritual life, to start to question. And the human life is meant for that. So animals, they are natural in their own way because they live according to their nature. That's why we are attracted to animals, because they follow their nature. But if the human being is not taking up spiritual life, is not following its nature. If human being becomes, like Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck is an animal, but living like a human being, having car, go on holiday. But in Donald Duck, they never ask, there's never any spiritual things in Donald Duck. It's just animals living like human beings. That's these cartoons, these animal cartoons. So if human being, of course, Donald Duck is always in trouble, but he never questions. He just moves on like an animal in next life. He is a duck. He never questions, although he lives like a human being. So that's very typical. Yeah. So if the human being is not, because what are we? We are a soul in a body with a mind and intelligence. So we have intellectual needs, we have mental needs, social needs, physical needs, but we also have spiritual needs. So the modern civilization takes care of the material needs, but not the spiritual needs. And therefore it's incomplete. And I wonder why people are not happy with all this nice, comfortable life. Yeah, that's what the ignorance described here. They don't know what is the cause of the suffering, what is the missing thing. Today there is talk about holistic thinking. But there cannot be holistic thinking without the spiritual dimension. Then it's not complete. So, yeah, like I said, Jesus Christ said, what does it, if you win the world, if you make a material, polished civilization, and you lose your soul, what is the gain? So this, I'm telling this because in this appearance of Lord Nishingere, he appeared to remove the biggest materialist in the universe. He actually accomplished what they are trying to do today. But what they are trying to do today is like mosquito compared to what Hiranyakashipu did. And the name was, like Prabhu said, Hiranya and Kashipu. Hiranya means gold, that means money, opulences. And Kashipu means comfort, cushion. Cushion, pillow. Have comfortable life. So these are the two main important, what we are striving for in material life are two things. It's happiness and protection. Comfort. Comfort means protection. Peace and happiness. These are the two main things. Why we are striving for that? Because in the spiritual world, the soul, when it fell down to the material world, it had peace and happiness. So we are striving for what we lost. If we didn't have experience of peace and happiness, we didn't know how to search for it. So just the fact that we are searching after peace and happiness means we had it at once. You cannot search after something you don't know about. But here, actually, the soul make this decision because we are, soul means you also are free to choose. That is the nature of the soul. It has that freedom. But when you choose, you have to take responsibility for your choice. So the soul has one point in time, every one of us has one time chosen to test out something else than what we had in the spiritual world. We try out something else, like a little adventure. But boy, was we in for a surprise. And this whole life in the material world is like, that is the experiment. And you know this story of man, he heard about hell. So he, I know, it's just a story. He heard about hell and he thought there was a lot of bad propaganda in hell. So he thought maybe it's fake news. So he decided, I want to check it out. So he came there and he was very nicely received. It was a very nice reception. And he was served meal and people were so nice to him. And he said, yeah, I knew it. You know, there was so much bad propaganda about this hell, but actually, this is nice. I will, you know. And then they say, okay, you want to stay here? Yeah, sure. Now I've experienced myself. Okay, you sign here. And then, as soon as they sign, then I open it, and he's really thrown into hell. Yeah, but you know, yeah. But it was so nice. Yeah, that's just for the guests, for those who are in the waiting room. So, you know, so this is, we come here with this, this idea that there is some place where I can enjoy and have a nice time outside of God. We come all from the spiritual world without the spirit, So then because we have that desire is fulfilled. But at our own responsibility, And this is the life in the material world. And then we can try as long as we like. But at one point, sooner or later, as a human being, you will start to doubt. What is this? Struggle. Is life ultimately this struggle to serve? Is that life? Just to solve problem and then die? And then have some short breaks, holidays, So this Hiranyakashipu, he was, as I said, the greatest materialist. He was doing this mystic yoga, so he gained powers, mystic powers, and he got control over most part of the universe. He was so powerful that he could control rain, temperature, everything. There's so much talk about climate control today. Well, he did it. And they're not going to do it today because he had the power to do it. He made flowers grow in his footsteps. He had that power over nature. The modern science, they try to get this power over nature. That's what they want. But they are far from this. Power over nature by finding out how it works. But he had it. So he had everyone under his control. He gained this, and he had to pay the price. He lived extremely difficult things he had to go through to get these powers. But he was, even though he had this, he was not a nice person. He had all that control, but he also harassed people. That's the problem. And he had one son. He had control, but there was this son, Prahlad. He was a devotee of the Lord Vishnu, of Krishna. And this Hiranyakashipu, his idea was actually to kill God, compete with God. That was remove God out of the picture. Unfortunately, he had a son who was a devotee of his enemy, and that freaked him out completely. Can you imagine? He had control over everyone except his own son, 5-year-old boy. And this son was pure. He had pure bhakti. So even he had that control, he was still fearful. That is to notice when we hear about such a personality, don't copy him. In other words, he went 100 times farther than anyone today, but he didn't have peace. So why over-endeavor materially? Everybody has to maintain their life materially, but why over-endeavor? You're not going to get, if you don't get peace, you cannot have happiness. If you are fearful, so therefore this fear is all over the universe. That's why we are searching protection. We are searching to make life comfortable so we can have little less fear. Actually, if you analyze how we live, we spend so many hours working, so many hours sleeping so that we can work. So many hours or so much of our time for education and whatever. When we become older, you spend so much for health, you know. And what is all this for? Basically, so you have a place to live and you have some clothes and you have protection, some protection. Most of our life goes just to get some minimum protection. Actually, we want to be happy, but most of our life goes not to be happy, no, to secure ourselves. Somewhere or other. So therefore he was called Hiranyakashipu because he had that ability, enormous ability to comfortable life and enjoy things. But he was still not happy. He was still not peaceful. So that program, just his example is that this doesn't work. So therefore Prabhupada said the formula, simple living, high thinking. You know, you make your endeavor to maintain your life materially, reasonable way. Not too little, not too much. Whatever comes, you work reasonably, be satisfied with that. And then, high thinking, that means invest in spiritual life, to nourish the soul. Because the soul is by nature peaceful. The more you realize, the more you become self-realized. The more peaceful, you can be peaceful in a very difficult circumstance. You heard about Socrates. You heard about Socrates? No? 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 Socrates.
Philosopher.
Yeah, Greek philosopher. You are from Greece, huh? What?
Albania.
Albania, yeah. Anyway, Greek philosopher. Prabhupada had discussion about Socrates. So Prabhupada said that he is a self-realized soul. What was it? Yeah, because he went around, discussed with people in Athens, in democratic society, and he was, by vote, sentenced to death because he didn't discuss the right things. It's ridiculous. You know? And it was a shame for them, of course, because he was such a nice man. He was not a rebel, you know. He was a cultured man, and he just discussed with people peacefully, you know. So, but they made a vote, you know, and he sentenced to death. But it was a shame, so they hoped that he just escaped from jail, so they didn't have to. But he said, when he was in jail, he said, well, he said, first, if you're gonna punish me, well, first you have to catch me. But he was already in jail. In other words, first you have to catch my soul. And you haven't caught my soul. You cannot catch my soul. And he was totally fearless. And he actually drank the poison. And why? Prabhupada said, because he knew that he was totally peaceful. He was not afraid of death. He knew that he was eternal and he wouldn't die. So that's a self-realized soul. He was totally peaceful and satisfied, even if he was going to drink the poison and die. You also had in the Beatles, you heard about Beatles, you also? Yeah, I remember. So in Beatles, there was George Harrison, was a devotee of Krishna. And he donated the biggest temple in Europe, outside London, 1973. And he arranged for spreading Krishna through music, through Beatles also. So he did a lot. And he got a lot of... So he was, from 1968 or whatever, 67 maybe, they were devotees. He was the most of the four. And all up to he left his body in 2001. In 2000, I was in UK, and his friends from the late 60s, Hare Krishna friends, he was sick. He was actually had cancer. So his friends from 35 years back, they were visiting him, and they came to the temple also. So they visited him. They said he is there in the hospital, and his friends, they were like devotees of ISKCON, have been devotees for many, many years. They were the pioneers. And I said, when will we become as much advanced in Krishna as he? He is there, dying, and he's totally peaceful. He wrote this song, I want my sweet Lord, which is, I really want to see you, my Lord. So now he was in that mood. He was just waiting to come back to Krishna. And he was totally peaceful, and he spent 7 hours, 8 hours every morning until lunch praying and chanting Hare Krishna.
In the hospital.
Yes. Nobody was allowed to see him during that period. And he said he is so peaceful, he's just waiting to. So this is self-realization. This is,
Like Kadambakana.
Yes. Yeah, it was, our guru was leaving the body just short time ago. It's my friend also, he came to our place. And he had some talks, and he said, what do you want? I want to go back to Krishna, and I'm finished with this material life. Enough. Enough is enough. So burning out this last attachment and hopes, to this world. That's part of it. So Hiranyakashipu, then when he can't control his son, his own dear little son, normally your children are affectionate to children, but when a son didn't submit to him or his program, then he tried to arrange to damage him, kill him in different ways. But because he was protected by Krishna, so with normal means, he was not able to kill him. I mean, anybody would be killed by any of these means. There were different ways, burning and putting into oil and throwing off cliffs and go to snakes and different things. He couldn't kill him, and then he became more and more paranoid. If I cannot kill him, he will kill me. So then he became really frantic. And then Prahlad, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. When Prahlad started to preach to his friends at the school and make them into devotees of Krishna, of the enemy, and spread it, then he became so furious, he decided to, and he said, where you get your power from, you? Which power? To be so fearless. Everybody is afraid of Hiranyakashipu. He just lifts his eyebrows and everybody's shaking, Everybody's fearful, but not my own son. And he said, where do you get your power from? In other words, to be so fearless. You're just a small boy. And he said, I get the power from the place you get your power from. So that was a big insult, because that's God, you know. So then he said, okay, where is he? And he was in the palace. Is he here in this? There was a pillar. Yeah, he's there in the pillar also. He's everywhere. And then he banged his hand, you know, his fist into the pillar, and out came Nishingare. This avatar came out of the pillar. And why he looks like that? He is half lion, half human being. And there's a reason for that. Because Hiranyakashipu had gotten the benediction, he would not be killed by a man or an animal. But this was not man or animal, it was a half man or half animal. He was getting the benediction that he was not going to be killed inside or outside. So he was killed in the doorway, between inside and outside. Not day and night, but in the dusk. Not on the earth, not in the sky, not in the water, but on the lap. Not by weapons or anything living or dead. So he used his nails. And nails are neither living nor dead. They grow, but they're not living. And they are not weapons, normally. So now here, look at this half, and what is this? He got confused. And also the Nishingare, lion, they roar. You heard lions roar. I can't imitate them. It's, you know, when lions roar, so he had the Krishna in the form of a lion roar. So the whole universe was shaking of this sound. And then he understood, this is God, this is Vishnu. And he went to battle with him. So it took many hours, the battling, because Krishna is just playing, or God, which is just playing. It said he is a lion, so that's a cat, you know. So the cat play with the mouse. Have you seen? The cat catches a mouse, and then, you know, lets the mouse go, and the mouse says, I'm free. And like, you know, the cat has total control, but the mouse thinks, and also Nishingare, he let Hiranyakashipu out of his grip. And Hiranyakashipu, I'm strong, I'm going to beat him, you know. But in the end, he just... And why he came? Yeah, because Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill the pure devotee of the Lord. You see, we have to understand what it means, because this whole creation, like I said, the soul leaves the material, the spiritual world, comes into the creation, and tries out, and the Lord supplies all the different opportunities. Everything is applied to us: sun, this body, the earth, the air. We didn't create anything of it. It's applied to us according to our desires and our karma. Just like parents, they will give children a place to stay, they will give them clothes, they will give them food, so they grow up and like that. So similarly, there is, why is Krishna doing all this? When you leave the spiritual world, why? It's just like if some children leaves home. Why would the parents build a whole, wherever they go, they will build a house for them? But that's what Krishna is doing. Wherever the soul is going, he will arrange. He takes care of everybody, even they hate him. So, but the purpose is, Krishna is coming as avatar again and again, different ways. Their religions is the same message, is to come home, come back. This is not a place for a gentleman. This material world is not the place for happiness. There is some happiness here, but it's not meant for, just like there is even happiness in jail. You can have a place to rest, you can game, you can take some medication, you can have some good food. But jail is not meant to be a happy place. It's meant to be a reformation place. So the material world is compared to a reformation place, a place where you get purified, that you get cured for a certain mentality. And this is the prayer we read today, is that please, praying to the Lord, please purify, or in other words, please cure us. So because the soul, every soul has, it said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Gabunoi, Shavanadi Shuddhi Chitikori. Every soul is by nature, has a potency for pure love. Yes. No person is actually bad constitutionally. You can just like a healthy body can become diseased. But a healthy body is the nature. But it can become diseased. But the natural state is to be healthy. So similarly, the soul is, every soul, even it's the worst, even now it appears to be the worst person, even this Hiranyakashipu, is pure in the heart, potentially. So, but that has to be purified. Then you will be self-realized. If you're self-realized, there will also, the love is awakened. So now, this is the purpose of the creation. That's why there are avatars coming. That's why there are spiritual processes, is to purify us so that we come closer to self-realization. Now, if somebody like Hiranyakashipu is sabotaging the purpose, then the Lord, especially somebody has come to the point of pure love and is going back to Godhead, finally, after so many millions of life, and somebody comes in and tries to destroy that. Then the Lord becomes angry. You can just imagine if you just are almost to complete a big project, and in the last moment, somebody destroys it. So you will come solidly, So that is, we have to understand also that the anger, that this is the anger of protection. And so if you protect somebody, you can be angry at those who attack, isn't it? Like I mentioned here in Denmark, I'm sure that these birds are here, but you have to go out in the field. So the birds called vipe. You know them? It's vipe. And they are put a nest on the ground besides the dirt roads, bit field in the farm fields. So we had this in my village, and they are like extremely protective. You don't know where the nest is, where the eggs is, but suddenly you go on the run and comes this bird, boom. It goes like it's going like a jet plane, a war plane, and and you're like, and they are so, because you are close to their nest, What can I do? But they're really brave, So this feeling of protecting the dear ones is coming from Krishna. So he is also very protective. And Shingadev is worshipped for the protective nature of the Lord. He's demonstrating the protective nature. So that protection is also the protection of our deceased existence. Protection also means to cure somebody who is sick. That's also part of protection. Nursing, give medicine. And so, so that is what we are celebrating, that the life here in the material world is so full of challenges and dangers. And therefore, the issue of protection is very much important for us. Also, when you take up spiritual life, you want to protect. Whatever you think is valuable, you would like to protect. So if you take up spiritual life, there will be challenges also. And we need to pray to Lord Singeret for protection. It's just like when you make when you sow a seed in the ground. So the first is a creeper, very small, weak plant, and it has to need extra protection. So when we are when our spiritual development is new, when our bhakti is very new, we feel very fragile. And so that this little bhakti plant of devotion will not be destroyed. Therefore, we are praying to Lord Singeret. And now you can say that, what is the connection here? Because we are chanting Hare Krishna. We are our goal is to be devotees of Radha Krishna. And what Nishingadev has to do with that? Yeah, Nishingadev is there to help us to become devotees of Radha Krishna. He is Krishna's father also worshipped Nishingadev. There is a prayer I would like to read to you. Just to, yes. It's a prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So this is one of the, if you see there are 5 persons in the front there. The one to the next to the right, not the complete right, but next. 4 from the left. That's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was the father of Prabhupada's spiritual master. So he was also a great saint. He lived around 1850, 1900. And he was a great devotee. Same time he had a big position in the government. So he has some prayers to Lord Nishingadev, so we can get some idea. I will read that, it's just 4 verses and we can close up. Within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies, headed by lust, perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunning. At the lotus feet of Lord Nishingadev, I hope he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nishingadev for the benediction of worshipping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, become pleased and show me his mercy? Even though Lord Nishingadev is terrifying towards sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a verseless fool, and thereby make me fearless? He will say, dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Shri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar. Saying this, will that Lord delightfully place his own divine lotus feet upon my head. I will experience sublime love for the divine couple of Radha and Krishna, and undergo ecstatic transformation called sattvika. Falling on the ground, I will roll about the door of Lord Nishingadev's temple. Yeah, so So Prahlad Maharaj, so it's a paradox that Hiranyakashipu, who had all the material resources, he could not become fearless. But Prahlad Maharaj, who was harassed, he was fearless. Why? Because he realized the protection of the Lord. He knew that God is the supreme controller. I have nothing to fear. He had that realization. So, on such a day where you celebrate Shinga's appearance, but actually every day, one can pray for protection. It's not just that you pray protection for your bhakti, you can pray for any type of protection. There are many examples. We have one Shingadev deity big in Mayapur. We have also in Germany. But both in Germany and in Mayapur, the Shingadev deity was installed because they were attacked. The temples were attacked in Mayapur by dacoits. It means not exactly thieves, like they have bombs and weapons and everything. So they actually they killed a devotee, I think, and one sannyasi.
I mean, in the beginning when they were building it,
After Prabhupada left, 1979, 1980 or so.
and the Shingadev wasn't there.
No,
By then. Okay.
no. It was a heavy attack. And then the Shingadev appeared in a dream to one of the leaders there, and in a specific form. And he got the idea that we have to install the deity on the Shingadev. After that, there was no more problem.
Was there anybody dead from that attack?
I think somebody was killed. This Bhakti Raghava Swami, he got his foot cut off. So he has gone with crutches since then. No, it was a serious attack. Violent. There was also attacks in Germany, mainly on the movement. They were harassed like anything, and then they installed a deity in the South Germany, Southwest.
But were they attacked at that place in Germany? Where they...
Yeah, not on the temple, but the movement in Germany was very heavily attacked. Also in New Vrindavan in America, they were attacked by Hell's Angels. And they came and shoot, and I don't know if anybody was killed, but they...
But was that in the beginning when other, people were scared about Hare Krishna, or why?
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays...
In Mayapur, it was just simple mafia, burglars, dacoits. They were not scared about that. They know about that. But in Germany, they definitely were scared, or they didn't want that kind of, they were very much attacked by one priest, one Christian priest. It's not that all Christian priests are like that, but he was harassing like anything. In Russia also, in Soviet Union, there was also some intellectual academic, he was harassing like anything. So, yeah. So, but it is not just for the Prabhupada, we worship in Shingadev for protecting the movement, for protecting the Guru, but also protecting ourselves. Yeah.
But nowadays it's more calm because
Yes.
the Krishnas is more accepted, except for in Bangladesh not long ago.
Yeah, except for Bangladesh, yes, it's true. But I still tried, and in Russia there was somebody in Siberia, Omsk. They tried to ban Bhagavad Gita, but then the Indian government came in. Oh yeah. Even Muslims in the Indian government, because it's like a national sacred book, So, yes. But Prabhupada is saying that You see, it's interesting that he was this materialist. He harassed people. But Krishna didn't come just because he harassed people. It was their karma. But when he attacked the pure devotee, who is the goal of everything, then he came himself. So that you can see happened, in Soviet Union when they took devotees to mental hospitals. They gave them this heavy dope that make you into a zombie. It's almost like killing people. But they put them in labor camps. One devotee died in a labor camp, and they tortured them in jails. That was quite. But soon
That
after.
was early days.
Yeah, but soon after that, communism was finished. He finished off that to protect the devotees, so they could at least practice. So Lord Chaitanya said, no statesman can stop me. So in there was, when Lord Chaitanya was there was one local political leader who tried to stop the Sankirtan. He went, like we have a program here. So he came into such a program and destroyed the Madanga. This was in India, 500 years ago. So he was, and he didn't go too far at that point, but he made trouble. So then Lord Chaitanya arranged a procession, 100,000 people in 2 hours, up to the palace of this leader, and he hid under the bed. But Lord Chaitanya was peacefully speaking with him, and he said, why do you, before you tried to stop this, why are you not stopping it anymore? Yeah, because after that time when I crossed this Midanga, then I had, then this terrible creatures appeared to me, half lying, half man. And he spoke in a heavy voice, and he scratched my breast with nails. And he said, why are you stopping my devotees? This time I will spare you. He didn't kill him. This time I will spare you, but if this happens again, I will kill you and a whole family. He was. And when the policeman went out to do something, their beard started burning, and there was just fire in them. So therefore I stopped. So Nishingadev, in this way, he appeared there and made a warning. So Prabhupada said, this may happen again. It was understood. There was one, when they tried to make a temple in Mumbai, and there was a whole drama. It took 2 years just to get the land, because the one who sold the land was a cheater, and he was a big man in Mumbai. He had his own newspaper. He was in with the police, corrupt, He was a top politician. Nobody could get him. And he thought he's going to cheat the devotees, so down payment? They pay a down payment, and they don't get it back. And then he canceled the contract. So then, but Prabhupada didn't accept that. He had cheated already. He had sold the same land several times, got the down payment, and nobody gets the land. So Prabhupada, they put there was a whole drama. There's a whole book written about this. I can't go into all the details. But this man was also bribing the devotees' lawyers so that they would give stupid advice. So it was really a war going on. In the end, Prabhupada said he prayed to Lord Nishingadev. Because this man, he was a notorious demon. He was really trying to destroy. They even tried to, in India, if you put the deity in a land, the culture is you cannot go in there and change that. That much respect is for deities, at least at that time. But he anyway sent some. And then there was ladies in the neighborhood, mothers. They went in front of the temple and laid themselves down. And in India at that time, this is Mata, you respect women, mothers, So they stopped it. So there was a whole drama. But then Jan Prabhupada, after so long time, he prayed to Lord Nrsingadev. And actually, shortly after this man died, the official cause of death was heart attack. But from inside, we know that he died and he saw something. He died in skräck, in what do you call it, huh? Horror, yeah. He died in a horror scene. So but the main thing is not Lord Nrsingadev is maybe rarely doing such things, but the thing is, he represents this. You should know that he first of all came to protect Prahlad. He didn't first of all come to kill Hiranyakashipu. First of all, to protect Prahlad. He comes to protect the devotees first of all, whatever that takes. That he decides. And Prabhupada said, if this course of the world goes too much, okay, now they are just making their material progress, but if they start to harass devotees, like in Soviet Union and like that, then Prabhupada said Nrsingadev will appear again in some way or another. You see that whatever is built up now, this whole modern civilization, it's like a paper tiger. It's so fragile. It's all built on digital systems. You do like this, you just destroy the digital system, everything finished. Isn't it? It's all dependent on some supercomputer somewhere. It's really fragile civilization. So but in the middle of all this, we can start our projects to spiritually grow, and whatever happens, that will not affect that. Nothing can affect the spiritual. Whatever you have attained spiritually cannot be destroyed by material circumstances. Has nothing to do with karma. That is the field of full freedom. Okay, Hare Krishna. Could you translate a little bit, or did you manage to translate a little bit? Yeah. So you got a little into it, huh? Yes. Okay. Any comments or questions, or any? Yes.
Why would I want to pray to protect myself, someone I know? If all is created by God, all situations, and like it should go as it goes.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because when you pray, you develop the relationship. You take shelter of somebody, you develop the relationship. Prayer is one form of service to the Lord. It's one way you can relate to Him. Isn't it? Yeah. So that is... but Prahlad Maharaj, this boy, he was on that level that, like you mentioned, that that he had full faith. Whatever happens is, I have no fear. But so he was not praying for protection. He just understood I'm protected. But for us who are not on that level, so we cannot artificially try to be on that level, that we just let things happen and we do nothing. We have a duty. He is already fully realized. He's actually in the spiritual world in that sense. But for us who are on the path, we have to care for our bhakti plant, and we have to care for our circumstances. And we should know that we are dependent. It's that's our duty, so that we are in another level than him. Yeah. And it will help us to understand our dependence on he already understood his dependence and he was peaceful with it. But for us, we have to develop the understanding of the dependence. Because we live material life for so long time and we think we are the doer and we can make it and we can figure it out. But the reality is, and the Lord must told him, where do you get your power from? The same place you got your power from. He thought he had his own powers. No, it's not true. Actually, everything is given. You can't even remember who you are in the morning when you wake up, unless God tells you from inside. Because sometimes you forget. Huh? Like you did something with the arm. Huh? Broken, yeah. Yeah, so before you thought, I can just do like this. And now suddenly you can't. So, and you didn't, it's not in your control. So now you have that karma for some time. And yeah, it's like that. I got a stroke some months ago, and then I go out to the bathroom and suddenly my arm doesn't want to grab the towel. And I went, what's going on? I'm so used to just grab a towel, that's nothing, And I think, I can do that. No, I couldn't do it. So that means we are not in control, we are just allowed to. As long as we have permission, we can do it. But sometimes when we can't, then we understand that, yeah, we are dependent on, yeah. Okay? All right.
I have some, Hare Krishna, I have some question.
Yes.
Thank you for today.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we discussion before, and I hear it little today about through what kind of conscious we have, we go through after we let the body in the different places.
Yes.
And we wish to come back to the Godhead and to Krishna. And I hear sometime from the devotee and other sources, we can stay in the other planets too, and we develop there and we can come back to Krishna. And some others, they believe just in this planet we can do it.
Yeah.
And, I want little to understand about this one.
The earth is the best place for spiritual life. It's not the best place for material comfort, but it's also not the worst place. The earth is in between. There are places which are much more troublesome than earth, and there are places that are much more nice, materially speaking, than the earth, the heavenly planets. But no place is eternal like this. So the earth is the best place. You live not very long life, and you can make spiritual success in a short time and finish it off completely in a short time. So it's the best place. If you happen to come than to the heavenly planets, there's a danger because it's too good there. So you tend to be spiritually lazy. It's too good. So best to, if you are devotee, you develop spiritually, and you are too attached to enjoy comfort, then you might go to heavenly planets. But then you have to live there for a long time. And you will probably not go back to the spiritual world because you don't feel the need to develop more. It's too good. So the earth is good. It's a mixture of misery and some happiness. That's earth. It's best place. And that's why Lord Chaitanya and Krishna, they appear here on the earth planet. Most avatars appear here because it's the best place. For even they said that devas, those who live in heavenly planets, they are queuing to get born here because here you can do it so quick. So if you cultivate nicely the Krishna consciousness, so you don't have to go to other planet, you can go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Oh my God, somebody else. So what do you do now?
Go out here.
Let's go out there.
Kan du göra puja?
Давайте вперед немножко выйдем, чтобы вы влезли. Ну так, чтобы и вам, и мне было видно, да. Я так буду подсматривать.
Do you have a conch you blow?
Ja, den stora finns där.
Den här?
Ja.
Det är den du blåser?
Ja,
Okej.
och det här är för vattnet.
Okej.
Jayo Jayo Gora Chander Arati Koshoma Jayo Jayo Gora Chander Arati Koshoma Janavita Tavane Jagamanaloma Janavita Tavane Jagamanaloma Janavita Tavane Jagamanaloma Gorangera rotik shoma jaga janamana loma Gorangera rotik shoma jaga janamana loma Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol, Nitai Gora, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol. Dakine Nitai Chan, Bani Gadadhara, Dakine Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chatradhara Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasa Chatradhara Bashi Yachke Gora Chan Ratna Simhasane Yachki Gora Chan Ratna Simhasane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Naraya Jikori Chamaradulaya Jikori Chamaradulaya Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Goshadigaya Shanta Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala Naduramridanga Baje Paramarasala Shanta Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Ganta Shanta Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol, Nitai Gora, Haribol, 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 Nitai Gora, Haribol. Bahu Koti Chandra Dini Vadana Ujvala Bahu Koti Chandra Dini Vadana Ujvala Gala Deshi Bana Mala Kore Jalamala Gala Deshi Bana Mala Kore Jalamala Shiva Shukanarada Prinigada Gada Shiva Bhakti Vinoda De Gorara Sampada Bhakti Vinoda De Gorara Sampada Kiba Jayo Jayo Gora Chander Arati Kushoma Jayo Jayo Gora Chander Arati Kushoma Janarita Tavani Jagamanaloma Gorangera Roti Shoma Jaga Janamanaloma Gorangera Roti Shoma Jaga Janamanaloma Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Shiva Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Shiva Prabhupada. Sigonita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Do you have program? I don't remember Premathavani.
What?
I don't remember Premathavani.
Jaya Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parivraja Kacharya Sattva Shishimara Aisi Bhakti Vedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Parivraja Kacharya Astotra Sada Shishimara Samangris Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakumara Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Gauri Vaishnava in the Ki ISKCON Guru in the Ki ISKCON Vividity Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se Gosi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Go Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakon Radhakon Giri Govardhana Ki Jai Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai Mathura Dhama Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Mayapur Ki Jai Gangama Devi Ki Jai Munama Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Go Premananda Savet Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Hari Nama Sankirtan Ki Jai Shri Nishingare Mahotsava Ki Jai All glories to Samadhi. All glories to Samadhi. All glories to Samadhi. All glories to Shishi Guru and Guru. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The chat is singing the song.
Yes, we do it, sir.
No, huh?
Huh?
No, huh? Singing a prayer, huh?
Yeah.
At least today. Namaste,
We have bog offering now. I need to check if it's ready.
Oh, they're going to do the bog offering now.
Yeah, I need to check if it's ready.
I can go and check.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but what?
I hope we can just Hare Krishna meanwhile.
Okay. All right. And what are they going to do it now? Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. So, right. As vi kämpar in lite soft. Ja, men. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare playing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's good to have some. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You should play more when you're here.
Thanks. I think this is the end of the program.
No, sorry.
No, press on. Yeah.